thought they had banished us forever. But now, finally, we have returned.
And returned we have with a bang. Welcome everybody to part 3 of our School of Movies coverage. Pain. I'm excited. Anyway, allow me to bring in my guests for today. Right here.
Hey, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Hi. Hi all. Oh, this is gonna be so much of what? Oh,
Yep.
oh god. Oh, kind of stuff.
Also welcome.
Yes. So since we're about to go into the political section of this podcast, so to celebrate this, I decided to cosplay as the greatest president of the United States, Funny Valentine.
Alrighty. Well, also please welcome our good friend.
Hello.
Hello. Also welcome.
Greetings.
Hello.
Man,
Hello.
are you so mad at School of Movies that you decide to burn down a city?
Yes.
Everyone's a critic these days. I have a
Idea.
thought though about.
Ninja, you probably have missed the most important parts about BDSM, fantastic experience, and well, you know, it's gonna be even better today.
Yes, the pan.
I have some
Hello,
thoughts
Brendan.
about the film. I think the film would be vastly improved if there were a six-way between Wonder Woman, Barbara, Steve Trevor, a raccoon, a pan, and Mr. Trump. But I think they should all get a sex change first. And then they should go naked for the entire film, and at the end there should be an orgy. And two of them should join in at the end.
Don't forget Pepper Potts.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. Okay.
Pretty much.
We have one more guest in the background. Please let's bring him in.
我が力我が刃我が狂気我が狂気をもて見解せよエクスはあうがせエクスプロージョン
Good afternoon, everybody. Got here just in time.
Yep, you got here plenty of time. Let me say some highs. Welcome, Joe Bag of Donuts. Always a pleasure. Welcome back, Johan. Glad to have you on the show. Becca, glad to have you. Neph Champion, very good to have you. Let's see, who else is here? We also have Andraste Van Lustra. Welcome. Raptor in a top hat. Always a pleasure, my friend. And apparently Joseph Stalin decided to grace us with his...
Oh, come on!
Oh,
Go after yourself, Stalin!
did you say Stalin? Greetings, great leader and all that rot.
Yeah, and also, lovely to see you as ever, Hypatia. Alrighty. Well, this is going to be fun, to say the least. You guys ready?
You're damn right.
Well,
Oh, yes.
well, this week I'm ready for my week to be ruined. Yesterday, me, Johan, and company watched Treasure Planet again, and now we're going to be tortured.
Let us go to movies. I'm having PTSD flashbacks of TLJ. Yeah, that
Well,
podcast is bad.
Noble
That podcast is
Commando, looks
really
like we
bad.
found the Covenant have just discovered your form of torture. How to torture you.
Yeah.
Allow me to put it into a joke. This is gonna be a fantastic experience for you.
Yeah. Oh, you missed the
Oh, yes.
Wonder Woman. You missed the Wonder Woman should be out in pansexual rant.
I think we're actually getting to the tail end of it, actually.
Oh yeah, now
and,
they're gonna describe why they want her to be fantastic because they see themselves into the cat lady.
Well,
I
Treasure
forgot
Planet
about
is
that.
good fuel. Treasure Planet is excellent fuel. Anyway,
Oh,
let me see. Sharing. Oh, go for it.
We also found out that polyamory is cool.
Oh yeah, we did.
What?
Apparently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Polyamory is cool. What?
Yeah, down with bourgeois morality and all that sort of rot.
Well,
Oh
yeah.
it was.
Well, so we're going for it's in a post-apocalypse logic here.
Wait a minute,
Kind of,
hold
yeah.
on. I need. Ah yes, it was Barbara, right? Barbara needs to be pansexual with this Wonder Woman, and then
Mhm.
now they're gonna be going to the plot
Wonder
where
Woman needs
they're
to be
gonna be
out as
describing
pansexual.
why they see themselves into Barbara.
Yeah. There.
What a creepy plot.
I actually found a perfect match for Barbara. His name is Bobo 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 Bobo.
That was weak, and so are you.
That was an awesome series.
Here's a good comment. Polyamory, yes. Except that one.
Cuckoldry.
It's a nice
Well, unless
And cuckoldry.
it's a guy with two girls, then it's just good business.
I believe done. That is called a
Having a good
brothel.
time.
It's called a
Or
brothel.
no, he's just
No,
married to
it's
two
called
hot
the
women.
Royal Harem.
No, he's just got two hot women on either side of him.
I think he would be proud of that.
Yeah.
You know, I restrained
If you
from
want
the
more,
Mormon joke.
yeah. We don't do that anymore.
I was about
And
to
I-
say that. Done. Surely you have experience with this.
Oh, that. That. You're triggered by mentioning
Honestly,
that.
there are times when I think, you know what? I'm okay. I would be kind of okay with this, and then I say no, and then I shush the stupid side of my brain and say no, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
That's an excellent idea,
Yeah.
blowing up the church. Wait, are there still
Anyway.
people in there? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, I don't have any. I have neither the inclination nor the training necessary to make a bomb. So, anyway, let's do
Man, we're getting spicy on politics.
Just hold your horses. We're not done with the. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no, we're just getting started.
Yep.
going.
It gets
Yeah.
better.
It gets fucking better.
Mm-hmm.
That one's not going away.
This is where the fun begins.
Fun is relatively a good word,
Okay,
yes.
let's. Okay, come on. Okay, come on, baby.
Because, like,
What'd you bring me?
introduce me to somebody with more master.
Oh, whoops. Whoops. Let me see. Come on.
Do it.
Cooperate with me.
Degrees with the name of Minerva that looks like a kind of flustered librarian, and I'm way more interested in that person than like tight black dress and heels. So like
Minerva is the Roman goddess.
Or
Is
is-
man, I screwed up.
No, okay. Let's keep going.
Like
We
Minerva
got-
is
I
just
think
the
like-
Roman Athena.
Ah, alright.
Yeah, pretty.
Fine.
Yeah. And also, like, it's Minerva McGonagall, who apparently this person has styled, like, her wardrobe on. Kind of,
Why?
I guess.
What, did someone just mention Mrs. McGonagall? What on earth has she got to do with polyamory?
I don't know. But let's keep going. Oh, dear.
Do you want me to stream it?
That might actually be a good option.
Then allow me to leave, and then I will be right back.
All right. So, Tarek,
Diana,
we're good.
If my fan version of this, if Diana had been like, actually, I kind of like you more the way you were. Like, you were already powerful. You were already all of these things you wish to be. You just didn't see it. Like,
Or I already found you to be sexy. You don't have to do all this.
Yeah, it just the idea because then you could have had the whole conflict with Barbara is like, I want to be the perfect woman for this woman that I'm attracted to, and Diana being like, no, I like you the way you were, and having that blow up in like, you know, a larger conflict of some sort where, you know, maybe Barbara wants to go and try to save somebody and she messes it up because she doesn't have the experience, and it's like, you know, there's so much more you could have done with that other than Mystic Trump becomes Nuke Man.
Yeah, I think.
Oh no! Wait.
It's because it's exactly.
That comparison doesn't even make sense.
I know.
It's the more compelling, the more engaging story here would have been a conflict between Diana and Barbara, and just focus on that.
Yeah.
That would have been
It would be pretty. It would be just like an episode of a show.
Yeah.
I forgot that their fan fiction is that Barbara and Diana are in love or something.
Yeah, the better story, and at least the more intriguing one.
Sorry, but yeah, keep going. Yeah, it's just
What?
Mystic Trump dude becomes Nuke Man. It's just like interesting comparison. He doesn't really look like Trump. He doesn't act like Trump.
No.
And he didn't. And the only reason he sent the nukes was to gain control of the United States, and then it led into him discovering about a space program using particle accelerators, which then he used that to basically connect himself to the entire world, so he permanently touches everyone, so they can just wish whatever he wants, and he can gain control that way.
But here's the thing, like, he didn't even ask for the nukes. Fucking Ronald Reagan over here did. He's the one who wanted them.
He sort of influenced it.
No, he didn't. Think about it like this. The president could have said anything, like, instead of immediately for nuclear annihilation, he could have said, I just want Russia to back off. I just want them to back off. If he had just said that vaguely enough, it wouldn't have required nukes. But instead, the president just said immediately, no, I want more nukes. I want them everywhere so we can bomb them at any moment.
Not world peace, not for trust. Yeah, like you said, Russia just to back off. More nukes. It's like, no, that's not. Reagan would not say that, for one. But it's just like, I don't think any president would say that. It's like, I just want more nukes. Why?
Well, clearly in the movie continuity, Ludendorff is a Nazi.
No, this is the reality we're living in. It's man's world. Men are violent and evil.
I've heard things about this, but I would agree. He doesn't act too much enough like Trump for me to like fully give that credence. So I think that probably is accurate.
He's not even. Here's the thing that really bothers me. He's not even in the same industry. Trump was did a lot of business, but I don't think oil was one of them.
No, yeah, I think Trump was more real estate. This is
Yeah, like
Lord is in more oil. It's like a little different, but they're not the same. I don't know, same hair maybe?
Not even. I can't even say the same hair. He doesn't look anything like Trump. He doesn't act like Trump.
Yeah, I don't know where the allegory came from. I don't know who started it.
It's gonna get so much worse.
I know. This is like they're literally gonna use fascists, Nazis. Oh, by the way, I demonetized our stream now by using those words.
What? We're technically
We were
just
never
referencing them in a historical accurate way, so technically it's not a problem.
Tell that to YouTube.
Well,
We
screw
got
you,
Stalin. We got Stalin in the chat. We're fine. We're gonna have our monetization. They love that guy.
Johan, could you get the thing? Could you get the thing? Pull the thing up.
All right,
Mine
I
was
will get the
being
thing.
really-
I will get the thing. I'll get the thing. I'll get the thing. Hold your horses. I just need to copy and paste the stream yards. So, and then I can finally share my audio, if I believe. So, I need to press this button. No.
So we're at. I think we're at number 104. I believe. I believe. No, 105. Or
Oh no, we lost
105.
Johan.
Yeah, let me stop sharing my screen and maybe I'll give him the. Okay.
School of
Well, anyway.
Movies has claimed its first casualty. Rip in
It's
peace,
not.
Johan.
It's not movie pop. It's not like Johan's dead.
How long is it? Where is it?
We're at 104. 104. Not
104. Oh man, we're so not at the place.
105 or 105. Yeah, 105. I think.
Just say no. Just
right there. Yeah, that's right there. Let's go with right there and just press play.
I can barely hear what.
I can't hear it either.
What?
I can't
Yeah.
hear it.
You can hear it?
I can't.
I
hear
can't hear, but my speakers are raw at the moment.
I can't hear it either.
Oh my god. Hold on, then I'll.
Hear you a lot, but you sound weird and breaking up a
I
lot.
haven't shared the audio. It's just playing through your speakers.
God damn it. Hold on. Hold on.
You need.
Display.
I think
Second
like
display.
I think the time before last we were able to get through 43 minutes in 2 hours. So hopefully we'll be able to finish this today.
Well, the good news is we already have a count of 5 words that all begin with what, who, no.
Yeah.
I wish we still had a tick. I wish we had a little girl from across the street to kind of say, like where, like how many red flags have shown up.
Yeah. I do want to make a comment on Joe Baga Donuts, talking about how the wish mechanics were vague and at times broken. On my viewing of the movie, I didn't find them very vague. It was simple, and they keep expanding upon it. But there's sometimes when you make a magic system, you just keep the rules simple as possible, and then you just keep adding rules as the story goes on.
Can you hear yourself double or not?
Yeah,
All
I can
right.
hear myself double.
Alright, then I need to do it again. Then I need to fix this.
Well, I think that mainly what you need to do is put in headphones.
I did, but I need to make sure that I have groovy movies like this on and like.
Oh, okay.
Wait. So this should be working, and then I need to make sure that I got this. Alright, then I need to make sure that I have my mic a little bit further away so that people don't hear themselves too much.
All right, so number 104.
I'm Alex Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're good. Go for 104.
Okay, good.
But yeah, the better story, and at least the more intriguing one, is the one that you're describing. Is the one between Diana and Barbara.
Yeah, I like the idea of bringing back like some kind of simulacrum of Steve Trevor as like a negative part of the wish, so it becomes this conflict for Diana, and at the end she realizes that she should be here with humans with Barbara, and that Steve can go back to heaven and marry his jet. So then we're all happy. And
Okay. Oh my goodness.
yeah,
The jet's like, I've been waiting so long for this, Steve.
I'll show you my exhaust port.
Whoa, gee.
Oh no!
My controls the way
Pause,
that
please.
no,
Like what?
quite
Were they?
Pause.
Yeah. Okay.
Pause.
Oh my god, not this again. Not this again. Stupid music, stop it.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. They just said like just made jokes about sex with an airplane. Yeah.
Of
So,
course.
we, so they did
Yeah,
Oh,
they did
wow.
sex with
Wait
an
a minute,
airplane
now
this time.
I'm sounding tame
Foot
now.
fetish last time. What was the
They
time
say
for
sex with
that?
an airplane. Is that what you just said?
Yes.
Yep.
Like nobody makes my exhaust port feel like you do, Steve.
Oh my god.
Oh, well, well, maybe pans are beginning to sound more and more, restrained.
Yeah. Marry his jet. Yeah. Marry his jet. That
He
well, it's
doesn't
kind of like
even have a jet. He borrowed the
it's just
jet, and
a-
they lost it in Egypt.
No, they didn't
stole-
lose it. They knew where they parked it. You see it
They-
later in the movie. Well,
They stole
kinda.
the flying jet from
Kinda.
the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian that has flying jets that apparently work, that are functional.
That
and
are
gassed up.
fully fueled and ready to go at a
Yeah.
moment's
Well,
notice.
okay. Well, it looks like Diana seemed to because she seemed to have access to those jets, which seems to be high security. So I'm just assuming, right? It's just one of those things that you can suspend your disbelief on that or not. Is that she always they are always fueled for air shows because it still works.
I guess
Okay.
so.
My brain just trailed off.
I think your brain. No more. Just let
Yeah,
this one be.
I'm already having PTSD flashbacks of those stupid sounds that they play in the background, like boom, boom. Yeah, we're doing the groovy thing, baby. It's like very unannounced. Stupid.
I'm
Anyway,
finding
shall I?
my telephone suddenly really hot.
All right.
Let's keep going, shall we?
Okay.
It's on my thruster.
What?
Moving. No.
Okay. Coming up, we have Blue Monday by New Order. That was released in
All right, fast forward.
same year
Fast
as
forward.
Operation Wolf, which Victoria pointed out was in the arcade.
in these types of films.
It's
But I
looped
really
right the
wasn't-
hell around to being relevant again.
Scoot back. Scoot back.
Okay, they're going to do something here, and they've got this horrendous looking trunk.
Keep
I
it
hope
back.
they don't-
Back a little bit more. Right about there, I think. Yeah.
Chunk.
It's exactly what you're
A little
saying,
bit back.
Victoria. It's
Maybe you can
because
kind of.
more compelling.
The way you can do it is hold the left arrow key down. Don't click it. Just press it.
No, that doesn't work here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'll fix it. I'll fix it. There you go.
Nobody handles me quite the same way that you do.
Yeah. Okay.
Turn on my thruster. Oh,
Whoa,
God.
Jesus.
We can go on.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh my god, why are you talking about your own damn sex life, you fucking creeps? In a podcast, jeez. It's like, oh yes, I remember. You are that horny woman there, right there, yeah. It's like, fuck off. Don't do that in a podcast, it's creepy.
That aeroplane is really horny, though.
Yeah. Apparently they use, instead of bananas, they actually use airplanes. I guess, well, apparently the man doesn't need
No
to
comment.
have his thruster anymore, It's
Just
a
give
little
them
bit,
just give them the pan and tell them to go away for a little bit. You can come back when you're done and not horny anymore.
You're going to horny jail. You're going to horny jail. Along with Wolf, where you can hump your leg to inconsistency.
Wait. Sorry, I was just distracted. Who's going to horny jail and why?
How are you distracted?
I'm reading on other stuff.
You're reading on other stuff. You mean
Wait,
you're reading on
how can
pans?
you
Is that what you're
read
reading on?
when these people are talking about how their banana is working properly?
What?
Oh, just wait.
Why are we still on the perversion part of this podcast? Now I'm wanting to go into Trump rant.
He's not here. He's in horny jail. I thought you knew this. All right, let's keep going.
Jeez.
Coming up, we have Blue Monday by New Order. That was released in 1987. Same year as Operation Wolf, which Victoria pointed out was in the arcades in this 1984 set movie. Anachronisms up the yazoo.
Boom.
Do you remember the first trailer where it was really snappily cut and it was saying like, we're in the 80s, lots of colour, and there was very little speaking and it was all just flavour. And then this guy who looked really like Trump sort of turned up and just started talking into the camera, and I was like, oh my God. 1984. They're calling this 1984 for a really specific reason. We live in the misinformation age. And
oh my goodness.
We've always been at war with Eurasia. Like the idea that the public can be told something and just take it on board and believe it. And you can parallel that with the Cold War. Okay,
What?
they're going to do something.
Oh my God.
This is the opposite of that. Like the 80s, 60s, 70s, like that was like the opposite of the misinformation age. They didn't just take things face value. They questioned everything. That was the whole point. That's what made the Cold War so scary. Is like everyone questioned it. Like what was going on. You had the McCarthy stuff going on, the Red Scare, where you were afraid of your neighbors. Like I don't know. That misinformation age. I do not think that's what you would call it.
Well, I would say like the area of the Red Scare only lasted like for like it's only lasted like the 50s and 60s, and like so 84 around the time of Reagan's presidency is like one of the two periods in the Cold War where it was very tense. Honestly, if this movie was actually set in 1983, it would make a lot more sense, because what happened that year is that a plane got shot down by the Russians that had American citizens. And Reagan at this point was a lot more hard on Russia, and so tensions were near a point where we could have had a nuclear war.
Yeah, that was the Bridge of Spies movie. The Steven Spielberg one was based on that, I believe.
Yeah, and also there was a fantastic YouTube documentary talking about there's this one Russian dude in this outpost whose job was to basically, if he noticed missiles are coming from the United States, to report to his superiors, and he had 3 seemingly reports on it, and he chose not to. And at that moment, he was the most powerful man in the world, because he could have, alert his commander, and which would result in a nuclear war.
Yeah, I think that was that the one that the Tom Clancy novel was inspired by, the Hunt for Red October.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be getting away from that for a while. It's like
unfortunately, Neph, this is the section where they're gonna ram their political opinions down our ear holes,
down our throats. You mean like trusting and doing it like that?
And honestly, I just think it's gonna be just like. It's not going to be. We're not going to provide like that much political commentary on it. We're just going to say this is insane that they're correlating this with frickin' Wonder Woman.
Yeah, like Wonder Woman is like, I would not even call it like politic movie. No, like far from it. I think it's just dumb.
Yeah,
the problem and the worst part is they want it to be a politics movie. That's the weird part. Is just
also they hate the movie, or they don't like this movie because Wonder Woman isn't fucking bi.
Yeah. Basically, they hate this movie is because A, it's not political, and B, it doesn't ship it doesn't confirm their ship.
Yeah, they want their ship between Barbara and Diana to be real, and it's not real.
Yep.
And she's not even attracted to the pan, so it's not helping anything for them.
Yeah.
Damn those pans, they ruin everything.
Or Steve attracted to the airplane for some reason.
Yeah, why are they thinking that Steve Trevor is sexually attracted to an airplane? Just because he's just like...
Let's just keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Let's keep on rolling this roller coaster to the ground.
something here, and they've got this horrendous-looking Trump analog. I hope this film comes out before. Well, frankly, I hope this film is dated when it finally comes out because I want him to be fucking old news. Like, there was still the possibility he might be impeached well before his first term limit at the time. And then we saw the film, and by the end of it, I was like, why is this 1984? George Orwell has nothing to do with this theme.
Okay, really?
This character, because in a way, he's...
George Orwell.
1984 is not just about George Orwell's novel. There was actually a lot of stuff, a lot of big events that happened in 1984. Like, one of them, if you want to go political, Ronald Reagan had a landslide victory. Like, re-election. It was, like, not even funny of how much of a landslide he won.
I guess we should also note that, just so you guys know, the novel 1984 by George Orwell, it was not published in 1984. It was published in 1949. So I think it was just a coincidence that Wonder Woman was like, oh, 1984. I think they just picked a year and called it good.
No, I think so too, because it sounded, let's face it, Wonder Woman 1985 just doesn't have the right ring to it.
Or 1983 is not that. Unless it was a third movie, like it was the final movie in the trilogy, calling it 1983, it doesn't sound that good.
1989 is too close to the 90s, so then you lose all your 80s nostalgic. But even then, it's like there wasn't much nostalgia, like 80s nostalgia in this movie. They don't even have like a lot of 80s music in it. It's a lot of they had opera for some reason. And I like the opera, but the opera was just so out of place.
That was so bizarre because you'd think a movie like this would have a lot of synthesizers and like 80s sounding music, but no, there was barely any.
Yeah, they had that one music when she was flying that apparently was used in a lot of other places too. It was just like very out of place.
Oh shoot! Apparently, like, there's a time traveling thing. I accidentally like set this in. Thought it was in 1894.
That would be interesting.
Wonder Woman gets zapped to 1894. Oh boy!
And meet a young Steve Trevor when he's
Steve
like
Trevor
a child.
Kid. Yeah, baby Steve Trevor.
I think he did a misspelling there.
Oh no! That becomes a Shota ship.
She raises Steve
Well,
Trevor.
since Dunn needs to fix that, allow me to just refill my water and then we can continue.
My bad. Yeah, my bad. Mistyped it. I'll fix it after. But thankfully, it's just one of the hashtags. It's not the title.
Also, I think we lost Count Balerion to School of Movies. I think they claimed another victim.
Oh no! I will not be defeated by School of Movies.
Okay, I think it changes. Hopefully, can't fix it while it's streaming, but thankfully, it's just one of the hashtags. It's not the title. Ultimately, the hashtags are not that important, really.
Well,
anyway.
for new viewers, it is.
Yeah. I'll fix it.
Fran, I love Fran's comment. It's funny.
Oh God.
That would be enough Wonder Woman 1894.
Yep. Well, sorry, Count Balerion. You seem to have died.
So, how many victims have School of Movies claimed?
Just one at this point.
Yeah, ironically, or coincidentally, just one.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought they claimed Johan for a little bit, but no, he came back alive.
Oh yes, because I needed to grab some water. That was all.
Yep, Johan has died before.
Did I die before?
Times.
How did I die?
A lot of times. Let's see. We could go through, or we could go to the podcast.
Can we just continue?
Yes, let's continue.
I hated that this one doesn't have that groovy old style of media player thing, you know?
Yeah.
A bit like Trump, and then it seems like he's not at all like Trump.
I was a little bit worried about the whole framing it in 1984 because it really did seem like, oh God, is this going to be Wonder Woman defending Reagan's America? And like I'm so tired of the whole, we got to defeat the evil Russians. I'm a bit tired of that.
Wait. Why would you immediately jump to, oh, Wonder Woman's defending Reagan? Why would that be your first thought about anything?
Because
for some reasons they love the Russians.
Well, kind of because it's done to death, I guess.
Well,
Really,
it isn't
the
that.
Russians, the Soviet Union has been done to death in recent media.
It's been done to death for like the last 40 years. Hell,
so is Nazis.
Oh, those Russians.
Yeah, those Russians they need to stop being evil. Come on, Russia.
Why wouldn't you? I thought it's interesting because they hate the Russians because apparently there's Russian bots that skewed The Last Jedi at Rotten Tomatoes rating. They actually believe that.
Oh, goodness.
They actually believe that tripe. It's so hilarious. They actually believe that tripe.
You want to know why they hate the Russians now?
Why?
They're not communists. They're not the Soviet Union.
Can I do this? Hold on.
Yeah, this kind of hurts hearing it. It just hurts. Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, and they don't like Reagan's America. They don't because I guess like I don't know much about like Mr. Reagan. I really don't care. Like
pretty much Reagan was the one that populated a lot of conservative political thinking until 2016. So a lot of those that he was like the beginning trend to lead to the Bush administrations, and and Perion is back.
Welcome back, my friend.
Welcome back.
Did you rush B this time? No. No
movies has taken his voice.
Yeah. Let's
keep going.
Yep.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to do something here, something fancy. All right. Since that we are in the 80s anyway, and that's exactly the timing. Yes, absolutely cool. So I can do this if I want to. You see this? It's the old media player. Behold.
Wow.
I don't know if people are interested to watch a screen better than just this empty screen right here. It's more interesting. No?
Okay.
No, we don't want that. We're just gonna watch this empty screen again.
I guess so, yeah.
Oh well.
Yep.
Then I'm gonna do it. Let's do this.
Plot thread in these types of films.
It's looped right the hell around to being relevant again.
Yeah, it does, but I mean, like,
it's
it
not
just
relevant
seems
in the same way.
Yeah.
No, and it seems very played to death, and it's very wrapped up in a very anti-communist, anti-socialist message. So
even Stranger Things hasn't finished chewing it yet.
Yeah.
When they finally come back, it'll be the kids in their 30s, of course. But
no, I mean, really, those kids aren't getting any younger. But that was kind of what I was afraid of. And then the film didn't even really go in that direction either. It's a very odd choice to frame it in that way, to call up that imagery and those thematic points of 1984. And then set it in the 80s and then do almost nothing with it.
Yeah.
It's very strange. I mean, as somebody who inexplicably recently reread 1984 for no good reason, that book is intensely anti-fascist. Like Orwell himself, literally took a break from authoring to go and kill Nazis. Like, definitely praxis, baby. But the idea that they could have leaned into it, because really the start, the start of American fascism is long before 1984. But so much of it,
Of course, it's American fascism. Okay, can you please pause? I do have. Okay, so reading 1984 for no good reason. There is plenty of good reasons to reread 1984, just to remind you of what giving too much control over government does to a society, and that was Orwell's overall point. He was a socialist, and even then, he created one of the biggest criticisms for socialism is because of like government control. Like, yeah, you can view as anti-fascist or an anti-communist, but the whole point is just like government control and not having like the society we.
It's so funny that they don't like the Russians, but they also don't like that it is not that's anti-communism. It's like what? Make up your mind.
So yeah, one of the weird things about these people is that they say like he says like I'm a socialist who enjoys some of the benefits of capitalism. Like that's how he like describes himself.
Well,
which is kind of weird.
I think the reason for that is because these people are unprincipled. They just go for whatever they think is the best immediate thing to do. They'll never stand by their conviction.
Well, honestly, they're willing to stand by their convictions. It's just that they're standing by weird convictions a lot of the time.
I'm willing to bet you that if you were to not disprove them, but sort of lead them the other way, they would follow you without question. I'm serious too.
I don't think so. He's been prating about Nazis for years and years.
I don't know. If your keys are shiny enough and you jangle them enough, I think they'll follow.
If I jangle them hard enough to the point where I'm beating his skull in, it will work.
All you have to do is just pretend that these are fascists. These are what real fascists think.
They'd say that you're reading the film wrong. They would probably pull a Patrick Willems. They would pull a Patrick Willems and say you're watching the movie wrong.
Watching the movie wrong, but I can.
Yeah.
Well, clearly they haven't watched the movie right. Like I bet they would be mad at Treasure Planet.
They actually find Treasure Planet to me not to be only okay. Like they've done a show on it, so if you want to look up their opinions on that, it's on their feed.
No, I don't want to look up like their opinions on Treasure Planet without a crew. Okay, I don't want to have these idiots in my brain.
Yeah,
telling me what to do.
Let's keep going, shall we?
No, heresy! Kill them all!
Heresy!
What are you doing, Don? What are you doing to my beloved core?
They're like, we are doing that.
Oh, great. That means I accidentally volunteered myself, didn't I?
You're welcome.
Well, good news. I watched the movie just, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, we both did. It's like...
What can I say except screw you?
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
What can I say except screw you guys? I'm going.
Oh my god, they killed Kenny, those bastards.
Let's keep going, shall we?
We see in the United States really started in the 80s with Reaganomics and a lot of things like that. There's a lot of citations I could provide for that, but I don't want to.
Mutation.
So American fascism is more capitalist,
mutating into the perverse patriotism that we see today. That do things like storm the Capitol building. 3 days before we recorded this?
I was literally watching her having a fight in the White House while those fuckos were storming the fucking Capitol building. A film.
So they could have done something to deal with that, where it's like, oh, actually, like the creeping threat of like where this leads. Even the idea, imagine this, where you have the main plot is Diana and Barbara's like conflict and relationship. But in the, Diana's like, I really saw like this kind of thing lead into some terrible shit, and then juxtapose it with like actual flashbacks to her fighting the Nazis. 1984 is a warning.
I don't think they want to go back see her fighting the Nazis, because that would ruin the whole point of Wonder Woman, the first one, where it's like, oh yeah, Ares is defeated, no more war. War is gone, yay, peace.
Well, also,
But then they realize, oh wait, she's fighting Nazis. That means Ares is back.
but no, like the whole point, like part of Wonder Woman 1 is that it screwed up on this message that like you can't, even though you could kill Ares, it's not gonna stop man from going to war with each other. But also, they're also ignoring that Wonder Woman's mindset at the beginning of the movie wasn't really didn't want to interact with humanity as much.
On the film.
Like the only reason she'd go on a journey was to find more about the magic rock.
The worst thing is this woman person is really thinking that her image is like, I can see in Barbara that's me. So I want, the main character to like me. So I want Wonder Woman to like me. And how do I do that? Well, I'm gonna make her fucking fantastic. That's the idea. That's why she's complaining all the time.
Fantastic as this Barbara beats a drunkard overboard, kills him, kicks him like a soccer ball, and then get upset when she gets criticism. Like, Barbara, is that you?
Yep. Oh no! She was even worse with that. I remember, like, she was actually the woman was actually pissed that Barbara got that response from that person. That person is a racist and transphobic and all that stuff. She said.
All because even though he's a black man.
Yeah.
All because he said the most reasonable thing.
You cannot judge Barbara. How dare you? You have no right. That's
but she turned the man's ribs into dust.
Yeah, that doesn't matter according to her. She doesn't give a shit. She wants just Barbara to be with Diane and having this awesome, horrible relationship that looks like a BDSM movie. So yeah.
Hey, Campbell, you're Kenny in this one. School movie keeps killing you, and you keep being revived.
Presumably with pans as well.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah. Let's keep going. Let's try to get through as much of this as we can.
I hope so.
It's not a playbook, Yeah. And just having it like Diana's preoccupation of like the way that America's going, like a lot of this rhetoric, I have heard this before, and that preoccupation being the thing that maybe Barbara goes, hey, like I'm going to help, and she goes and like tries to hurt somebody or attack somebody and to like try to help Diana's like mind in this sense. And Diana's like, you can't just go and punch the president. Like, yeah, he's a fascist, but it's way more complicated than that. Like, we can't just go in and bust.
No.
As far as I know, Reagan wasn't a fascist.
No.
The exact opposite. He was the exact opposite.
Haven't you? Wait, done. Haven't you ever heard of Reaganomics? It was the most fascist system we ever came up with.
Oh yes, trickle down economics. So fascist. Let the business just keep growing and everyone's paychecks gets better.
That doesn't sound like fascism to me, but okay.
That sounds more like corporatism.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neph is already like, oh god, no, please stop.
And we're just getting started. How long? Well, thankfully, the last 13 minutes is
About his book.
Is the end. So we don't need to watch that. How far are we? Where are we at?
We're at 111.
Wow, we've only covered 18. We've only covered 8 minutes. Dang, we need to
Yeah,
keep
but
going.
that's because of all the stupid music playing in the background that is awesome, and then you need to listen to these horrible voices.
Yeah, let's keep going. Shall we?
Talking about how biasm is.
And make like something like that be the conflict could be way more interesting and actually play to the theme of that is evoked by that year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you're going to invoke it anyway, then yeah, that would be a perfectly viable direction to go in. It just, I mean, it's like we've been saying this whole time, like it's so weird to have it in this setting, and then it only vaguely hints at some of the things that were going on during that time.
Yeah, and 1984 and Orwell in general are really only invoked in two different ways. Very rarely somebody will invoke it for like, actually, this is what the themes of it was, this was what Orwell meant, is very anti-fascist. Or it will be invoked by horrible fascist chuds saying that being suspended from Twitter is in fact Orwellian when it is not. And
Oh my goodness!
Wow!
Oh my God!
Oh, that escalated quickly.
Wow!
Deleting Trump's Twitter account, totally not a fascist move. like,
Did you not? There's that joke on Twitter. Well, not Twitter, but they made like a birdwatch thing, and it looks very similar to like the 1984 thing, and it's just like, I don't know if you've seen that, but
and then also, am I the only person who thinks that just because you said it in a certain year or like certain era, you don't really have to make your movie about commentary of that era?
I think they missed also that they wanted their themes to be included in the movie, and they got really pissed about it. Like,
my themes!
I wanted my themes!
Even though they missed What's so funny is that they miss the themes of Wonder Woman 84. The themes that was already there.
Yeah, the themes is there. You know, the art, the cool looking dresses and all that stuff, and then you're like, no, it needs to be about Nazis and fascism and communism. That is my themes. It's like,
how dare we talk about the themes about like
something you love.
By blinding yourself to the truth to get something what you want and the consequences hereafter, using a witch MacGuffin as the point of reasons you explore the themes about truth. No, we need to make a film about fascism and being bisexual or being pansexual.
Which are basically like kind of the same thing, but that's just pansexuals just include trans people into that.
And don't forget about the pans.
And the raccoons.
Yeah, the dual wielding raccoon.
So essentially what we're hearing here is...
So he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Also, there's some clips of Treasure Planet that needs to be clipped and used.
Yeah,
definitely.
Like this one?
Pansexual raccoons.
No, there was another, the one where Doc got tied up and talked to the black guy.
Oh yeah, the one where he's like, could you tell me exactly what is all going on? And then he's like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Do you really need to preserve a fist in your face? And it's like, well, could you then explain to me this? And then he charged up the gun in front of him.
No, well, it was a fat joke. He called him fat by saying, like, excuse me, explain to me how your tiny head can compensate for your big fat body.
I'm sorry. Right. Never mind.
You can do it. You can do it. Use the force.
I think Mr. Balerian's unfortunately experiencing a lot of technical difficulties with his stupid computer. He must smash for it to part of his cold.
Sorry about
we go smash.
On Earth have fascism and communism to do with pansexual raccoons.
Wow, I only caught the best parts of that, and I have no idea the context.
All right.
Yeah, I caught fascism, communism, and raccoons. So
Oh, it's
I think
sexual,
what
not
he said
sexual.
was,
pansexual.
I think what he said was, what does communism and fascism have to do with anything with like pansexual raccoons?
Well, we're just getting there.
Yes.
This is great. I know, like we're a fun podcast over here, even though we cover some of the worst people.
Yeah, and we tend to try to avoid the terrible stuff as much as possible.
Oh no, we
What?
don't. We don't avoid the bad stuff. We do not avoid the bad stuff. We
But
wholeheartedly.
we try to
throw
take
ourselves
as
into
long
the
as break as possible.
That you can't take its swook system?
Yeah, let's keep going, shall we? Let's keep
Yes.
going. We got more stuff to go.
They just used the year in the same way they used everything else from the 80s in this movie of,
Set
hey, I
dressing.
remember that meant something.
Yeah. So pretty much exactly the same as Ready Player One then.
Yeah, and like,
Except somehow more cynical? Like,
yeah,
what?
you're right.
Wow, I forgot about that.
What? Wait,
Wow.
they say that Ready Player One is cynical?
Yes, it is actually cynical.
Yes, I would agree with that, but they're saying that like Wonder Woman 1984 is as cynical as
more cynical. It's
more cynical.
More. I really need to read that word. Cynical. Cynical.
Also, like again,
Low
you
view
don't-
of humanity.
You don't.
All right. Thank you. Well, then, yes, it is a low point view of humanity. Yes, then they are correct in that. But I don't think Wonder Woman is that. No.
No, it's more of the
it's
opposite.
really genuine. It is
So they're
very
talking
genuine,
nonsense.
though kind of not in a. It's very, very genuine, but its genuineness is kind of, eh.
It believes in the
Oh, I
best
know
of people
now why
because
they did
at
that.
the end it thinks that everyone will just renounce their wish. Which I'm like, I don't think everyone would do that.
And also, like they only say bad wishes, like
yeah. Well, like, what? Yeah. What if? Someone like, oh, I wish I don't have cancer anymore. It's
Or I
like,
wish
oh,
for
you gotta
world
renounce that
peace.
wish of yours. Renounce it. It's the
I
right
wish for
thing to
world
do.
peace.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Like, you don't think someone would? I'd be like probably like on the first wishes, if not the first wish. Someone would make if that was real. Be like, I wish for world peace.
You know what the funny thing is actually about this statement? I believe they're gonna say that Ready Player One is actually really fascist.
No, they just say it's a chode movie that should have been about like turning off. It should have turned off the. They should have turned off the Oasis completely and gotten into rebuilding the world. That's what they say.
They can
Well,
go straight to hell.
Well, Ready Player One as a story has
A lot
big
of
problems.
Yeah, Ready Player One is really. Ready Player One is really bad.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
worse as a book. It's worse as a book than it is as a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
they're both bad.
Yeah, you want to know how bad the book is? It launched an entire podcast that does bad books from now. They're doing Ready Player 2 right now. It's called 372 Pages We'll Never Get Back. It's by the guys who did Riff Tracks, and one of them
Really?
did works on Mystery Science Theaters. And the reason why it's called 372 Pages is because it's the page count of Ready Player 1. That was
Nice.
They originally was going to do it as just Ready Player 1, but then it got popular enough that they continued doing bad books, which included Shadow Moon, which is the sequel to Willow.
Oh, boy.
I've heard stories about that book.
And it became one of their worst reads.
Oh, I've heard stories about that, and I'm just like, this was the sequel trilogy before the sequel trilogy.
Can I just say though, it's nice to know that Mike Nelson and his robot pals are still doing stuff other than Riff Tracks.
Yep, Mike.
So,
yeah.
Doesn't like I have never read the book. I have read the synopsis though, and apparently like Laura Dannon is like a bad guy, and like Tira's Lane is completely dead, and Willow gets super depressed and wanders around.
Yeah, so pretty much he changes his name to some stupid name, and pretty much the only characters that survived a big apocalypse is Willow and the prince and the baby, who became a princess, and she became a brat. And Willow didn't even contact her at all during this long period. And it's also dark fantasy. It became very dark, edgy fantasy.
Can I ask something? Why is it George Lucas's characters have to suffer like this? Like, why? What do people have against this man?
Well, and here's the funny part. The writer for Shadow Moon is Chris Claremont.
Wait, I've heard that name before.
He is the definitive X-Men writer.
That's okay. That's where I know him from. I've heard him about.
Yeah, he wrote great stuff for the X-Men. A lot of the storylines that gets recycled in the X-Men movies, like Dark Phoenix, Days of Future Past, and maybe even like Apocalypse, Chris Claremont had involvement with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but clearly there's a time where he goes nuts.
Yeah, he lost his mind at some point.
I have heard that. I think I have heard that about him.
Yeah, along with what's his face, Frank Miller.
Yeah. Basically, this is what happens to a lot of comic book writers. Like, at some point, for some reason, most like these writers from comic book writers in general, at some point they just go nuts, as opposed to manga writers.
Weird, which is
interesting,
which is odd. So hopefully, hopefully our friend Literature Devil doesn't go mad after he finishes Dr. Alpha.
Unless you're like the guy who wrote Watchmen, he was always insane. That never changed.
Oh yeah, he's a professional. Oh yeah, oh god, Alan Moore. He's a professional Rasputin impersonator.
Yeah.
He's a druid. He's a druid.
Yeah, like I just remember like one time like somebody made a quote like, "Oh, Alan Moore, like he was asked about his books, and he's like, they haven't been ruined, they're still on the shelf." And then he proceeded to drink the blood of a baby giraffe and fly out the window, shooting fire out of his anus.
What?
Alan Moore, he was always insane. He was always insane, that man.
Yeah, Alan Moore's crazy. And he's kind of a professional insane man. But it's really funny. But anyway, let's keep going.
Less things to spot.
Yeah, and even with something like, you were talking, like, how much like Trump did they really want to be like? I mean, I get what they were going for with this Max Lord character, but you're really on the money here, Alex, when you say like he's kind of like him, but he's meant to evoke Trump, but he's really not like him at all.
Wait.
No.
Wait. Do they not realize that Max Lord is a legitimate comic character?
I don't think they realize that.
No, they don't.
That's giving them way too much credit.
Yeah, and also, if knowing about Max Lord,
part is they're fans. They like a lot of comics. And they're willing to give the MCU so many passes. Like, a lot of passes.
Yeah.
I actually want to know what they're going to say about the new Godzilla versus King Kong movie.
Probably they'll probably think it's stupid.
No, they actually think the King of the Monsters is deep. I kid you not. They talked for 2.5 hours about it.
Okay, do they think Pacific Rim is deep?
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Okay, here's the thing. Western kaiju movies, like Western giant robots, and most of them are not that deep. Stuff from Japan, some of them can be deep, some of them can be deep in either you look at the politics that goes on or like the themes the author is exploring. But others are just for dumb fun. And that's
I think it really depends. I think it really depends. Like Pacific Rim has some interesting stuff, but they're mostly neat picks, like color theory stuff that Guillermo del Toro puts in it because he has synesthesia.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Pacific Rim is a bad movie. I'm just saying, like,
No, like that's what I'm saying. Like it's not like proud. It's not like The Dark Knight where they actually philosophize about stuff. It's more just there's interesting little color theory put in.
Yeah.
Bisexual lightning.
Oh yeah, beware the bisexual lightning.
Let's continue.
Phrases. Anybody? Like his thing he keeps saying and doing the finger guns at you with. Life is good, but it could be better. That is not what Trump says. That is not how he came to power. Trump,
He doesn't want things to be better for anyone but himself.
Trump
Oh
used
my
classic
goodness.
flavor. Life is bad now. It was good then. We can bring it back to when it was good. Before all these people came in. You know the ones I'm talking about.
Yes, you.
Yes, you elitist idiots.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, I have to say, the author's voice trumps all. I'm sorry, but
Though it's literally word of God.
yeah.
Sometimes, depending on who you're talking about, there's a whole death of the author thing. Sometimes an author is like, no. Like,
These people
oh, what's
really,
that? What's her name?
J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, it's like, no,
Yeah.
okay, you need to stop.
Well,
that.
her problem is that she keeps retconning stuff that's not in the source material.
Yeah, like how wizards went to the bathroom by crapping in a corner and then Magic the King to crap away.
Yeah, that's
Even though they have bathrooms.
Anyway.
Well, they didn't have them till the late 1800s.
Okay, but anyway, the commentary, like, oh my goodness, like these people sounds like the people that are like up for Robinhood app restricting people from exploiting a weakness on Wall Street right now.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah, like these are just a bunch of elitist idiots.
No. They're not elitist. They are, how do you say, not fascists. They are people that really are determined to do stuff. Like they see themselves as heroes, even though they're really, really bad people.
They're basically the French lords in the French Revolution.
Oh,
They're like mad paladins, you know. I'm gonna cite the name.
Don't you mean the Committee of Public Safety during the French Revolution?
Or let them eat cake. They're just a bunch of Marie Antoinettes, like saying they need to learn the code. Wait, why am I on the guillotine?
I wish we had Neph for that. Her voice would have done that so well.
Yeah, because Neph's voice is pretty much elastic.
Yeah.
Oh, so she could do a snobby French noblewoman?
No, she could have done the squeaky voice extraordinarily well, and it would have fit just lovely.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Off with their heads!
Well, actually, on that, like with that one, yeah, I actually have something for that one. Let me grab it in 3, 2, 1, and boom.
Nice.
That's one of the host's heads. We'll have
That
to wait
was
for the rest
Valerian's head.
later.
He's now gone.
Yes, we love you, Neph, so much so because you have a cult. Of course we love you.
And a simp.
Well, the good news is Neph is one of the most greatest persons I can see good writing.
Oh God, it's growing.
Nah, I'm not simping. I'm just giving an example.
Neph also has many names.
Let's continue.
Great.
We got
let's keep going.
The only simp
going.
exists is Wolf, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Very different characters. Maxwell Lord is not saying to people, the world used to be good and we can go back to it, and sort of embracing fascism with that. Like it's
Why would he?
power in a
businessman.
non-specific, very wishy-washy kind of roundabout way. It's I got nearly all the way through the movie and I was like, hang on, I just realized I don't know what his fucking motivation is. He wants people to make wishes.
But
And
you
It
really don't
literally
know his
showed the
motivation.
motivation at the end of the movie.
It's
And at
yeah.
the beginning, they showed
Wasn't all
like,
hit?
they had a scene, his introductory scene, right? That we can only see him other than on the TV. Is him having to deal with somebody withdrawing money from his business in front of his son, and that guy is calling him a loser, and he's trying to tell his son that he's not a loser.
I am not a loser.
I am not loser. Get back into the chopper, yeah.
Like him trying to be confident and saying like, oh, life is good, but it could be better, is more of him trying to put on a front that he's a person who's trying to not be a loser. That's his ultimate goal, is to be somebody his son could be proud of.
He also wants his son greatness too. He doesn't like when he's trying to convince his son to wish for greatness, and instead he wishes for his own greatness, and he's like, "No, that's not what I wanted." But thank you, son.
It's not what I wanted, my queen.
Yeah.
But
Let's
yeah,
keep going. Let's keep going. I don't think there's more we can like dredge out of that. It's pretty. His motivation's pretty simple.
Yeah,
It
simple
doesn't need
but
to be
effective.
complicated.
Yeah, it's effective. Like this movie has a lot of its strengths. Is there's a lot of stuff that is simple, and in terms of like plots, in terms of the plot tying into the themes of the story, it's effective on that. There's a bunch of stuff that gets in the way, which is why the movie is so controversial.
But think about this, all right? These people don't want this simple stuff. They want this complicated system where everything makes sense according to them. So what they actually want is this man to be happily ever after. Actually, you know what? We're not gonna make him a man. We're gonna make this man a woman, and then this woman is gonna have problems with Barbara and Wonder Woman, and they're gonna get along and have a threesome and all that stuff. That's what they want. There you go. I explained the story about their story.
Yeah, they basically want CW1 Batwoman.
Yep.
Oh,
the black woman.
Well, honestly, like Batwoman is not bad because of its wokeness. Batwoman is bad because it's utterly devoid of any merit.
Oh yeah, of course. But the wokeness is added
Horribly
flavor
written.
to make it hilarious.
Yeah, it's just horribly written.
It is, and also like the acting is awful. None of the acting is good.
There's Gregory Scott, who plays
honestly,
Jacob Kane, and Luke, the guy who plays Luke. Like those are your two good actors.
Yeah, I would actually enjoy doing like us do live streams of us reacting to Batwoman.
I don't want to. I've already watched EFAP. I'm just like, I'm not interested.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
And you already assigned a bunch of your audience to go watch Once Upon a Time.
EFAP. Like just watch that in doses. It's hard to watch an entire episode. It's
honestly I would rather watch Once Upon a Time because Once Upon a Time is more weird than Batwoman. Weird to watch and more interesting to deconstruct of why it's bad than Batwoman is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Batwoman is pretty simple as why it's bad. Once Upon a Time, that there's layers to it.
Yeah, like
it's
just
like an onion.
Yeah, it's like the crazy is just sets in very, very quickly. It's just like, what? So Emma, the daughter of Once Upon a Time and the daughter of Prince Charming and Snow White, screwed the son of Rumpelstiltskin, and then she gave up her son for adoption, and he got adopted by the evil queen in this fantasy, like locked off fantasy in real world gulag thing.
And Captain Hook is in there for reasons.
Captain.
I forgot about that.
And like Peter Pan's the bad guy.
Yeah, Peter Pan's the bad guy.
So is apparently Arthur and Merlin. Elsa showed up for a season.
Yeah, played by the chick from what is it?
Oh, I agree. Becca Hook is definitely the
Fringe.
best part. He's just in it for some reason. Like, he is the best part of the entire show.
He's the only good part of this entire show.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like, other than Robert Carlyle can do no wrong.
Well, that's just a given fact.
Yeah, true.
Shall I press this button?
Yes, please play. Press that button.
Could be the magic wishing rock.
It does.
And at this point, I was like, Wishmaster would come in and go, as you wish. And he gets turned into a giant rock.
He does. His motivations do shift. So when at the start of the film, he's driven by a fairly simplistic desire to be successful. He's got kind of an oil business that's flopped, and he's resorting to
estate business,
con artistry in order to keep the money flowing.
Got it. So he's money worries, but
Yeah.
what he does is so specific.
One of the fundamental ways that I would say he differs from Trump is that they go out of their way repeatedly.
Well, Trump is absolutely evil, soulless, and boring.
There is that. And if he was
Trump is not boring. Say all you want about Donald Trump. He is not boring.
He's not boring. I don't even consider him evil. It's like, okay, that's
He's a little bit insane. Well, he's a little bit crazy, or he makes himself sound really insane.
I just, wow, like when people call him Hitler, I'm like, he's not Hitler, and he's not like a dictator. If he was a dictator, he would still be in office, for one. But it's like, oh my.
These people are crazy.
Talk about like what's hyperboles. It's like, I got my own problems with the man, but holy crap, there's a point when it's like taking
I'm
a little too far.
already at the count of 21 no's, so that's good.
What are you playing at?
Once again, the movies, even bad movies, come up with more dimensionality
Well, he's
for their.
Pedro Pascal, so he's already a million times better than
How could you do The Mandalorian and this in the same year? I was like, do you recognize this guy? Like,
Technically, he
right,
didn't.
exactly.
Mandalorian had his helmet on for most of the show, as far as I heard.
Yeah, and sometimes
Pretty
it wasn't
much,
even him in the scenes. He would sometimes dub over it. it was like a stunt double.
Yeah, it was John Wayne's son, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so sometimes it wasn't even him, and they're all, I guess, two different characters. Mandalorian's kind of dull.
God.
He doesn't have much emotion, while like Max Ford is like very like, I guess, not emotional, but
yeah, he's got some big personality. Like, he's actually
Yeah.
kind of the funniest thing in the movie, I think.
No, he's just
Yeah.
outright the best thing because his story
Yeah,
in the
true.
movie is the most relatable. It's a very
Yeah.
humanizing story.
It's it's the most interesting part. Like, just get rid of the Wonder Woman, Silva. Just take that movie. Make
That's
that a movie.
the thing. Like, this should not have been a Wonder Woman movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, the thing is that if the Wonder Woman 84 feels like if this was a Wonder Woman show back in the 70s, it feels like this could have been an episode.
That's the thing. Like, I felt that way too. Like, if this was in the 70s TV series, it would have worked fine. But this is coming off of like Aquaman, Batman, or Man of
It's
Steel.
extended really, really far. Like, it's kind of stretched a little bit.
Yeah, this feels like a Star Trek two-parter of like, because if you notice like the length of the Star Treks in the early parts is like they're like 50 minutes per episode. It's not even 45. 50 minutes.
Yeah. Let's keep going, shall we? We can do this. We're
Good
stronger.
news, we're already halfway there, so that's good.
We're four grown-ass men. We're stronger than this podcast.
And we're living on a prayer.
It's pretty good. Like, if you want this type of character, like, forget about trying to invoke Trump. If you want this type of stereotypical 80s businessman character, Pedro Pascal is a pretty good actor to cast for that, because he does have that sort of, he can play that superficial charm very well. So in that sense, it kind of works, but it seems like they don't exactly know what they want to do with this character, and his motivations, like you said, are kind of all over the place. So
in a way,
it feels a bit like he's kind of wasted, like his talent is a bit wasted on this character.
Well, he runs up against a similar problem that they end up having with Barbara, which is that they show these two characters as both having space in their way of looking at themselves for a little bit of introspection, for being able to reflect on what they've just done and have a thought about it beyond, yeah, that was fine, let's move on and do the next thing. But they never do. They never follow it through to the end. They never reach the conclusion, maybe what I'm doing is bad. They need Golden Girl Diana to come and show it to them. There's
I
no
thought you liked women.
development there. And I get that you don't always need to have that in villains, but when you create villains that have the dimensionality to incorporate that, use it.
Never. It's notable, like, before we move on from the whole fascism thing, that Snyder being massively into objectivism. I mean, that, like, it's really difficult to actually put it into to words, but I suppose if you had a Venn diagram of the giant circle of capitalism, specifically late stage capitalism, crossing over just a little bit too much with fascism, you got objectivism right in the middle there.
No, I would
What?
very much disagree with this.
What? How the fuck does that create objectivism? What the hell? How do you then...
Objectivism is more of like the exact, like if you put like fascism and communism, like all about government stuff on one end of the spectrum, objectivism is near like the opposite end. Objectivism argues that capitalism is good because of people's self-interest, but they're like, if a government is run by objectivism, it's more like anarcho-capitalism, which then you get BioShock. Like, that's the reason why BioShock was made, is as a critique of Iran objectivism.
Oh, I really now that you mentioned that, I want to do Terry Goodkind. Why is Terry Goodkind so controversial? Because he fellatios Ayn Rand to no end.
Oh, yes. I seen that Daniel Green video. Yeah, Terry Goodkind, not that great.
Yeah, he is dead now, but I'm still like, I really don't like you still. I don't care.
Wasn't he a jerk in real life or something?
Oh, yes.
And his books. So I never read his books, and I only seen like a couple clips from the sort of the Legend of Seeker series. But my dad and my brother listened through the first book and some of the second book, and they stopped because of the content that was in there.
Yeah, it's exceptionally lazy.
Well, it's not like lazy. Also, it's just like so much adult content that it just annoyed them to no end.
That isn't handled very well. Like, it's like kind of it's weird because it's like, I think Daniel Gray put it best, like he said, like, it's a combination of Winnie the Pooh wholesome and then shifts right to Game of Thrones style torture porn.
So Berserk.
All right then.
It's really bad. It is like it is really bad. It's a really bad book.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's not. It's pretty like the show is actually better because it's just like the show is like, we're just not going to do any of that stuff, and I'm just like, good.
Yeah, let's edit stuff out.
And not have whole plot lines that are stupid, and actually like put in interesting ideas.
Anyway,
let's keep going.
Hold on, where is it? There, that's my mouse.
To say anything that we can trust regarding fascism.
Right. And not too fine a point on it. The reason, like one of the reasons why this character is modeled after Trump, it's just weird now, is that all of the 80s business villains and 90s business villains were based after Trump. I mean, the Super Mario Brother movie has 2 of them.
Yep.
For goodness sake.
And back to the
Quick question. What was the bad guy in Super Mario?
King Koopa.
King Koopa, played by Dennis Hopper of all people. Like
how does King Koopa?
Because he looks like Trump, because his hairstyle is orange.
We've hit that point where we're just gonna keep hearing about Trump, aren't we?
It's like we can never. Apparently now we can never call people.
So if you have the same hairstyle as Trump, you're Trump. All right, cool. Thanks.
I guess another thing is like just so for people in the audience, I know what my reaction is going to be. So how is this compared to Kirk Cameron?
Like, okay, Kirk Cameron. I've seen some of his movies. Not a
Kirk
lot.
Cameron Saving Christmas.
I only seen that one clip where they dance to a hip hop of "Angels We Have Heard on High." On that, like that whole song of like them just weirdly dancing with no interesting visuals. But anyway, Kirk Cameron, like you understand he wants to make like Christian movies for families and stuff, like, and that's fine. And it's like most of his flaws is just kind of incompetent most of the time. Like I don't try to associate malicious stuff. But who else is the other guy that we're kind of comparing?
Just Joshua David Bellin.
Oh, the other guys like Benioff and Wise, Bellin, like they're incompetent, but they're trying to hide their incompetency by virtue signaling.
I don't think they are. I don't think that they are. Honestly, like I think they are dumber than that. I think they are legit dumber than that.
So they're just idiots. They're idiots who doesn't know how to market their stuff to make it seem like they're smarter than they actually are.
Well, they kind of forgot how to use the proper words. So yeah.
Yeah.
At least Kirk Cameron knows how to market his movies.
Yeah, he knows his audience and actually made quadruple his he made like 6 times his budget back, which is so hilarious. And also I don't even know if that was even his budget. I honestly think that was money laundering.
You still think it was the money laundering, and I agree with you because there was no way that movie was real.
There was no way that movie was $500,000. There is no way. There's no way.
Well, unless there was like an injury on set that they had to pay for, and they just decided to include that in the budget. But yeah, no, that movie's a
there was no way to get injured on the fucking set.
Maybe the 80s breakdancing the Christian 80s breakdancing hip hop rap group.
Well, maybe that, or maybe that Santa really did beat that guy's ass.
Maybe
that, or like people ask for a wicked amount of money.
Maybe, but let's keep going. We can do this. We can do this.
In fact, that Trump has modelled himself after the 80s capitalist villain.
Well, what did we watch?
Wait.
Oh my God.
No, the 80s capitalist villain was modeled off of Trump.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, fucking Biff Tannen.
So you're saying, like, because Trump has this hairstyle, he's saying, like, no, this movie came before Trump, and that's why he modeled it. It's like, what? You don't make any sense here.
I honestly would love to see it. I just want a documentary on that one, a brutal, frank documentary, and saying, no, this was kind of the moment where we decided to have the 80s breakdancing hip hop rap group, and I want to know how they got that money. I want to know how they got that money and where that money went, because clearly it didn't go into the movie.
Okay, all right, so back to the topic.
Yes.
Trump has been around in the popular culture for a long time. Like this is like him as president is like his second resurgence. Like the 80s was when Trump was like a big thing. And thus you get all these 80s execs like have like some aspects of Trump in them. Because he was a 80s pop cultural icon. It's like just because he's back recently and doing a political party that you disagree with, which, by the way, Trump was a Democrat before 2016. And yeah, it's just like all that stuff. Just because he is not inspired by the 80s villains. He was the inspiration for the 80s corporate villains.
Mm-hmm.
I
have not watched the commentary. I don't know if it's available. Like, we just watched the movie on YouTube because it's free on YouTube, because there's no other way to get this. Like,
well, not unless you're willing to pay the man for the Blu-ray or DVD.
Well, you don't even need to, since you can just say, "Hey, Mr. Kirk Cameron has paid this money. Has just said, hey, here's the money. Let's get this thing done. Let's just get some money. Throw it out up on YouTube for free. It ain't making money as is. Might as well."
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue.
Doing this. Who was the guy? He had blonde hair, obviously, and it was hilarious, and we were laughing. We were like, "But it's so sad." Oh God, I'll think of it in a bit.
So the thing is, though, like there was recently a YouTube channel I did a big deep dive on how, like, for years and years and years, all of the movies are like, this Trump man is the crime guy because he was doing crimes then, much as he's now.
No, that's it. Hang on, I remembered. So sorry. 1 second, Victoria.
You're fine.
Flash Gordon, only with the faith of Ming the Merciless and the aspirations of Ming the Merciless. Sorry, carry on, Victoria. But yeah,
that's the thing, is it's not even that Trump is currently positioning himself, because he's been like this for 40 or 50 years. Yeah. Like, he's literally been the crime business guy forever. And
Trump as a crime business guy.
What the hell are they talking about?
Now they're thinking that Trump was like just because
in media. Okay, I see what they're saying now.
Just because in media, like, corporate businessmen, bad guys, are doing crime on the side of their corporate side, that Trump is that. I'm just imagining Trump being part of the mafia.
Pretty much all businessmen are to a certain extent criminals. How else are they making that much money?
It's simple. They're not paying their employees properly. And when it comes to their company falling, they just get themselves a raise. Much like a certain group of people. Much like politicians.
Hold on. I can see now Trump as this mafia boy. Like, yes, this will be the best opportunity to get myself this great and powerful company under my hands. And I swear, I had nothing to do with it. I totally did not do this today. I just
Your
came
Honor,
in.
I did not touch that woman on the place she was saying I touched her. It is false news. It's fake.
It's fake news. And also, yes, you're fired. Now go sleep with the fishes.
Let's keep going, shall we?
This is humor.
Like, this guy, he's the bad guy.
Cyril Smith.
Yet people voted for him. But so to me, I think this character is very Trumpian, because he is offering people whatever.
Correction, Trumpian is not a word.
It is he needs to hear in order for him to gain more power, because the only thing he cares about is himself and gaining power and money. And what could possibly be more Trumpian than that? Like, he's not a fascist. He is, because he's a capitalist, and there's like a one-to-one connection. But
I thought he was doing this for his son. I thought this bad guy was doing this for his son, not for himself.
Yeah. He is.
He is.
Why do they not get that connection?
Because they're idiots, okay? They literally stated that capitalism equals fascism, even though fascism is a spawn from socialism.
Yes, it's a spawn from the workers' union.
It's the workers' union.
Which socialism is a reaction to bad capitalism.
Oh no! Having Russian.
Because he's a fascist. He's a fascist because it was the way he could gain power and money and influence.
Yeah, it
and
benefits
so,
him.
Yeah.
Technically, he gained power by money, not by fascism. But okay.
Well,
So
he gained power by
grew
becoming the Wishstone.
This, this wave of just the worst people, thanks to the internet and a lot of other things I don't want to go into because we don't have 10 hours. But
how dare you?
Yeah, worst people like you guys. You guys are the worst people.
Oh my god, these people are blaming the trolls. I knew it. I should have gone to Norway.
Norway?
Why Norway?
Because there is that, you saw South Park, right? There are all these trolls in that big giant building.
Oh, you're referencing that. Okay.
No, I don't watch much South Park.
Oh, you're missing out.
It's a great episode. It's all about trolls, internet trolls, and they act like trolls.
They have their own headquarters and everything.
And there is this one how do you say, one troll that looks like a Danish person, and he's like, yeah, I just pretended to be a Danish bureaucrat to troll you guys. Psych. And now I'm gonna blow up this place.
Let's keep going.
But the end of this movie has him going literally in Max Lord being him going in front of the presidential seal on television, offering everybody whatever they want, fantastic wishes, just so he could get as much as he could from them. What could be more capitalist? What could be more Trumpian than that image? The thing that doesn't make sense.
It's literally a service. He literally just said, yeah. He just did the equivalent of a free market, where he's basically said, "Okay, I will grant you a wish," and then he's just like, the only reason he connected himself to the world is so that he doesn't suffer from the side effect of his exact wish. He wished to become the Wishing Stone, and then it's revealed that him wishing to become the Wishing Stone comes at a cost that he suffers a penalty. He loses health. Every time a wish is granted.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of want to know the reason for that.
Hey, guys, real quick, I got to go. If there's a family emergency, I apologize. I hope you guys have a nice rest of your night.
All right.
Yeah, man, stay safe. Hopefully everything will go well.
Yeah, same. Hopefully it goes well.
Yeah.
Good luck.
That's important indeed.
And another one bites the dust.
Oh, man. And
now there are 4.
Man, casualties is 2. We got 2 casualties. School of Movies had to take away Tiered by. Never mind. I can't continue that joke. Sorry.
What, you mean they went to school?
No. It was too dark of a joke. I couldn't finish it.
Well, you never can get too dark when you shit on someone's floor.
That came out of nowhere.
I know, it was terrible.
The only thing he doesn't show absolute contempt for, only a little bit of contempt for, is his son. And that's the only
I would disagree with that.
Contempt isn't contempt like hatred?
Yeah, he doesn't hate. He doesn't really hate anyone.
Saying that
the only person he doesn't really care for is that king of oil guy or whatever.
Yeah,
he was nice to his secretary or whatever. Anyone who worked for him, he was very nice to. Barbara.
Wait, they're saying that he hates his son. What the?
Yeah, he's contemptuous toward his son.
Why?
Reasons. They have reasons. Are there good reasons? Not
What's
really,
here's
but-
his reason? What's the reason?
Yeah.
That's a
Up
big
and-
difference.
Up until the end, when it's like, no, wait, actually, my son is everything, and I will face no consequences for almost destroying the world in nuclear hellfire as long as I get to go back and hug Baron. I mean, Alistair.
You hear me? No comeuppance! By the way, that
I think it
boy,
actually
the
would've-
kid actor, that is one confused, uncomfortable kid for
holy
every
crap,
scene
yes.
with Pedro
One-
Pascal.
There's
Absolutely.
one moment in particular where Pedro Pascal sat next to him on the sofa, and he's like squeezing him really tightly, and you can see the
Mhm.
kid's face under his arm, and he just looks so weirded out.
Also, like, this kid must be like...
Yes,
"Oh,
it's
you're
called
just
child
the
actor
guy who wants me to
syndrome.
quit."
Could you rewind a little bit? We missed something very, very amusing.
Oh, dang, Occupation Army. You think I'm going to be the next to die? Wow.
He's not a fascist because
All right.
he's a fascist. He's
I
a
see where
fascist
it's at.
because it was the way he could gain power and money and influence.
Yeah, it
And so-
benefits him.
Yeah, so he rode to office on this, this wave of just the worst people, thanks to the internet and a lot of other things I don't want to go into because we don't have 10 hours. But but it's the idea that like the end of this movie has him going literally in Max Lord being him going in front of the presidential seal on television, offering everybody like whatever they want, fantastic wishes, just so he could get as much as he could from them. What could be more capitalist? What could be more Trumpian than that image? The thing that doesn't make sense, the thing that like the only thing he doesn't show absolute contempt for, only a little bit of contempt for, is his son. And that's the only real difference I see between Max Lord and Trump in this movie.
That's a big difference.
Up until the end, when it's like, no, wait, actually, my son is everything, and I will face no consequences for almost destroying the world in nuclear hellfire as long as I get to go back and hug Baron. I mean, Alistair.
You hear me? No comeuppance! By the way, that boy, the kid actor, that is one confused, uncomfortable kid.
No, come up, it's okay.
Oh my god.
That,
Oh my god. That I think I missed that part when I first read it.
Like, you don't think Trump doesn't like his own family, his own sons? Okay, but
Him. He really cares about them.
yeah.
He's
The
a
film
family
also
man.
implied that he was divorced.
Yeah. Just wait. It's gonna get even worse.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. I can't wait, sir.
Every scene with Pedro Pascal.
There's one moment in particular where Pedro Pascal sat next to him on the sofa, and he's like squeezing him really tightly, and you can see the kid's face under his arm, and he just looks so weirded out.
Also, like, this kid must be like, wow, you're dressed as the guy who wants me deported. Just, like,
Right.
so creeped out.
Why?
I don't think the kid is thinking that. I think it's just, who's this strange man hugging me? And partially it's just bad kid acting because kids suck as actors most of the time.
Yeah, it's quite hard to find a good kid actor.
Yeah, like Game of Thrones, like, wow, they got really lucky. Like, whoever's casting that, they picked really well with those kids. But
Oh my god.
yeah, but
What
most of the
the
time,
hell?
or Hill House is a better example of when they picked really good child actors. But
I'm
And
just
then,
surprised.
and then they think that, oh, you look like a guy who dressed that somebody should deport him. Trump's whole shtick is just to build a wall to limit immigration into the country. That was his policy. That's why he wanted a wall. Was to try to fix our terrible immigration system. That literally has, like, America's immigration system is a law book about the size of a shelf. To collect all the law books is literally a whole shelf.
Yeah, I love how the chat is just full of no's. Just
Yeah.
No.
No.
It's like, you have this table and you're just hand banging your wall like, Landon, stop this, Landon,
let's keep going. Let's try to get some more stuff done. I just gotta get something. Should be. I think I got a friend coming over in like 10, 15 minutes. So let's keep going.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, pretty
Does your
much.
friend not want to suffer with us?
Really, maybe because it's just me having a completely dark sense of humor, but it actually would have been quite funny if they went, just dug deep into Max Lord just having utter contempt for his son and just not giving a shit about him. Like, that would have been actually kind of funny to me.
Well, at the end,
That
Thank you
would've
for
made the
hating on
movie-
dads, you jerk.
That would have made the movie
What is
worse,
utter
I think.
contempt? Please
He
please
didn't
tell me
care.
the word utter contempt because I don't know the word.
Just like hatred, kind of. Yeah, pretty much like
you
doesn't
said-
dislikes, like very doesn't like that person. Holds a lot of
What?
contempt. Usually, when you hold
The whole
contempt, though,
story
you
is
don't
about that
show it.
that he wants to do this
So-
because he loves him. What the hell did they miss?
Essentially, what I would say is like how I would use contempt in a sense is that I have utter contempt for Ryan Johnson and David Benioff.
All right, you want to burn him alive. All right, so yeah.
Yeah,
The-
you essentially with a person who has contempt for somebody, it's like a hatred for a dislike, a heavily dislike of a person, but they're not gonna show it
Yeah,
because it's not polite.
yeah. I was about to say it's usually either maybe not hidden, but like definitely concealed to a certain extent. Like you're not going to just
What did
go
these
frothing
people
at the mouth.
smoke that they didn't see the main story? I want
They're
to
just
know.
looking through their ideology, and
So they all have pink glasses on that every man is looking like a woman and every woman looks like a woman. All right, cool.
yeah, and
Great
and
glasses.
also nitpicking plot points, like certain plot points, and like there are some flaws with the movie, heavily flaws. I am not saying that it's the greatest movie since mankind. I'm just saying it's a solid movie that has a lot of flaws.
Yeah. I'm okay. I don't really. I'm like I am okay with this movie. I don't despise it like I despise Game of Thrones. Especially,
I think this movie is actually better than the first one because it doesn't implement that heavy on Nazis that are in World War One.
Yeah, it doesn't screw up the setting as much.
Yes, so that means it is a decent movie that you're just gonna be watching with some friends. Just have fun. That's all.
I think I'm very entertained by this movie, but I think like writing wise, it's very terribly written. But probably,
in comparison to other movies that are very popular in this community to crap on, it's the best. Honest.
Anyway, let's continue. Otherwise, we won't be able to make it.
Yep.
And it'd be like, but what about your son? And he'd be like, eh. and then Diana would be like, oh, you need to die then. Cool. Like,
oh wow.
Yep, their hatred towards white man, even though Max Lord in this continuity is Hispanic.
Wow, these people are such dickheads.
They really hate that kid for some reason, I guess. I don't know why.
They hate fathers, clearly. They hate
Yeah.
fathers. You can't have a father-son relationship in a
Wait.
movie.
Well, they do like Sweet Home Alabama music, but hey, that's all. They like their kids watching movies of 18 plus, so hey.
Let's continue.
Yeah, what the hell are these people smoking?
I don't know. Does Maxwell Lord need to be adored in the same way? Like, is it all about the attention for him? Because Trump's lust for attention outstrips his power.
Yes, absolutely. Because his primary thing that he says that he is a TV personality.
He has a personality. Yeah, exactly. He goes pretty. I mean, like, not deep into that because nothing is very deep in this movie. But yeah, he does make a point of saying like, I'm a TV personality. Like, he's almost weirdly proud of that.
He is a failed businessman and TV personality who rides to power and money and fame on the back of the.
You guys are just so
back of what?
fucking
Okay, let's finish the back.
Literal mechanisms that Reagan put into place. What could be more Trumpian?
You are not wrong. I think I just I didn't hate him, and
I hated him the moment he came on
oh,
screen.
right. Well,
Really?
okay, I think I just
So she was predisposed to hate him.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. It's like this, I hated Trump way before you guys. I'm so retro right now.
No, it's like, well, no, it's not even that. She's saying that she hated Max Lord as soon as he came on. He's
Oh
saying he
boy.
did.
Yeah, it's just because of their honestly, these guys are bigoted towards clearly people who think capitalism is a good thing, to conservatives, and especially towards Trump. Not because of like his policies or whatever, just because he's conservative and he has a brash personality.
And he's wants to cut down on immigration, which is just like, there are like, you can immigrate in, you just cannot do it illegally.
And also we can't fix our system. We have because again, there's literally law books of our immigration law. In order to legally go in, is a whole bookshelf worth of laws and stuff that can easily be shrunk down.
Yeah,
that shows how crappy our law system is.
Yeah, we need to. There's definitely like some fixes that need to happen.
And
but-
unfortunately, in order to do that, you need to plug a leak.
Yep. But let's keep going. Let's.
I just wanted to say one thing. These people feel like they're really jealous of Trump. They're like, "Oh my God, he's so much better than me. I hate him."
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, this is pretty much like their their longest Trump rant. Like they've gone on like made a couple of snipes here and there, like especially during their election and the election when they were doing their Disney shows, and like a few other times. But it's like this is like the longest they've ever like ranted about Trump. Though they did do it in Schindler's List as well at the very end. Yeah, they had this whole spiel at the end of Schindler's List saying, you need to vote, and kind of putting it in very moralistic terms. And it's just like, okay, bub, you have not convinced me to do anything because you are mainly idiots. I'm sorry.
You're idiots who would honestly, I would think that these are the type of idiots that they would have supported the Nazis back then.
Well, considering that the radical left is basically Nazis that go on Gestapo runs to find tweets from when people were in 9th grade just to discredit them and throw them out of university is pathetic.
There's some people on the right who does that, but there are a lot fewer.
That's the thing right now. Holy fucking shit!
Yeah, there was a girl who like no joke got kicked out of a prestigious university like Harvard or Notre Dame or somewhere because of a comment she made on a racist comment she made on Instagram in 4th grade.
Yeah, it was like
when
a
she
joke.
was 16, and also it was
not even 16, 14. Like 9th grade is 14. So like this is a kid. This was when she was a kid, and kids are stupid.
Yeah, making a joke. Like for that age, they probably thought it was funny, and it's like.
And the guy who did it, and it was a literal dude, and I think it was a white dude too, said that
Oh, really? Oh,
it was a guy.
Oh, really?
I heard girl as well, but then again, I could probably look it up and find like 15 other examples of like something similar. It's happened too much.
Which is why I'm saying. Which is my position about this. My position about this is basically this is going to rise to Nietzscheism. Like in response to the cancel culture, we're just going to have a rise of Nietzscheism where people just don't care about political.
That's actually horrible. If I was in Harvard, I would have then immediately been kicked out because of I do have tendency to do racial slurs sometimes with my friends because they're funny.
Yeah,
because
you can't have fun with your friends.
I don't even know what it was.
Well, it's just we have like these common jokes about Germans because we're living in the place near Germany. Anyway, let's continue. Otherwise, we're gonna
Well,
have
honestly,
so
it's only like about like it's kind of only about like black. It's mainly like black people and Asian people.
Asian
or,
people
like, just generalized
occasionally.
colonials. Yeah, like Asian people
Asian
occasionally.
people-
No black people jokes. No black people jokes. No, I think no Indian jokes, because basically, if they're a colonized people, you cannot make jokes at their expense. Which I'm kind of like really depends. Like I'm like
welcome to the Wiki Market.
I don't know what I don't know what I their goalposts shift constantly. It's insane. But we
Yeah,
should keep
like Asians are now viewed as white.
What? How?
Because they do better than white people as a minority group.
let's keep
And only
going.
do it occasionally when it suits the left.
Let's just keep going. This is let's get to
Jeez,
2
this
hours
is
and
just
then we'll
a
call it
witch
a
hunt.
day.
This
Let's
is
just get
just a
to 2
witch.
hours. Let's get to 2 hours on. Let's keep going. We'll cut it off at 2 hours, but we'll keep going.
All right,
Looked
let's go.
at Pedro Pascal and went, "Oh, this was your first big blockbuster. Can someone get Pedro Pascal a better blockbuster than this? Jesus Christ!" I said to my daughter, "Do you recognize him?"
Narcos,
No,
Game
and
of Thrones.
Don't touch that.
Consider the blockbusters.
Let's keep going. Let's just keep going. Let's just let it play.
Yeah.
Just don't touch it. It's a toy.
And she went, "Oh God, it's Mando!"
Yeah, I know. It's very yeah. It's hard to get past that. It's not a Chris Evans in Knives Out situation. Like they may have been trying to do something like that, but it doesn't work in this case.
Well, there's a difference between those two films. And
If they'd put Chris Evans in a Trump wig and a suit, I would have liked Knives Out a lot less.
Ew. Instead, they put him in that lovely cable knit.
Yes, they did.
Anyway,
I know.
Pause.
What the fuck are you Are you all right? So
might be
one is
Knives
bi.
Out.
The man is also bi now. Okay, great.
Oh yeah, he came out as bi on Twitter a few months ago.
And then he's using that kind of. Yeah. I cannot stand it when people are doing this kind of. Oh, look at that big giant booby there. Yes. It's like, why would you do that on a podcast? Come on, get your horny stuff out of here.
Well, it's just like I maybe it's just me, but I find like men talking about horny stuff not very funny. When it's a girl, I find it a little bit more entertaining because it's like usually a little bit more wholesome. Maybe it's just me. Since like Anna like creaming her jeans over Henry Cavill is really funny.
That's great. Same with Jay Longbow. She does that too sometimes with Henry Cavill, and it's great. But
well, also those are real women, not these women.
Okay, now I am so in the awkward right now.
I am so offended right now. Dan, how dare you say that these people?
Sorry, my Puritan instincts.
They're women, but they're not real women.
No, well, the thing is like I just don't like sex talk as much, like in terms of jokes constantly. Like I do an occasional one, but more implied.
Well, she just like it's mainly just like her reaction is just like, oh, I want that man. But it's really funny. But let's keep going.
I think they lost their women license.
Well,
wait, there's a license for that?
Well, if there's a man card, there's a woman card.
Hi, mate. You lost your women license?
I like the idea that the bomb has the cards that he deals them out. Like, oh, here's the woman card. It's the bomb that has to deal it out, though. Not an actual woman. It's the bomb.
Don't you be the stork? The stork is just carrying around a deck of cards in his other talon.
These are not ladies.
These are not ladies.
Dummy rescinding them women license.
No, it's
Neph is rescinding them. I'm just saying. And
Oh,
because
you
Neph
got
is
a
a
license
wimp.
for that.
Let's keep going.
Your
Let's keep
license
going.
has just been revoked.
Let's keep going. Let's try to get to a stopping place on this. Where are we at right now?
We're at 1, 2, 3. So 1 hour and 23 minutes.
Let's get to an hour and a half, and then we'll call it good. Like, try to get to the hour and a half mark.
Let's see if they still keep their licenses.
Thanks, Tim.
Speaking of extremely on the nose parallels. Oy. Okay, now this actually is going to touch on something which has been said before, but it is so dark and so kind of upsetting that we kind of didn't want to start the show with it. I was like sort of saving it for a bit where it's like, yeah, they do this and it's like at best ignorant as fuck and lazy. And at worst, I don't know. Let's just get into it.
I hope they're referring to the Wonder Woman rape
those
scene,
who haven't
but
seen
I
the
don't
film
think
are
they
so
are.
confused. Yeah,
No.
Yes, they do.
There's a magic rock, and this this businessman is really interested in getting other people to make wishes on the magic rock because he is the magic rock and has a magic. Like they just touch him and they make their wish, and then he gets a thing that they lose. They never ever really talk about what you're losing, and it almost seems like that was a part of the film that they put to one side. They say. Like, I think at one point someone says to Diana, you know, what happened to you? What have you lost with this? We'll talk about the whole wishing side of things later. They get in a jet at the Smithsonian, fully fueled up, chocks away, ready to go, and fly off. And Diana goes, hold on, I'm just going to do this thing that people were going to talk about in the first movie, but then it never happened. And she just sort of like goes like widdly widdly whip, and then turns the jet into an invisible jet. And then they fly through some fireworks, and it's a very pretty scene. And I was like, you know what, it's fine, this is bobbins, but it's fine. And then they're in Egypt, and I'm like, when did this happen? And then they're in a big truck chase like in Indiana Jones, but with a lot more jumping and punching stuff.
Quick question: how is this dark?
Oh, I know what they're saying.
They're about to get to that part. Just wait.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
And then they're in someone else's back garden. No, they're in like a guy who evaluates magic rocks, and Minerva's there for a reason. Like Barbara's there for no reason. This is why I mean about the structure of this thing is all over the place. But one of the big things that happens while they're in Egypt, not the Middle East, folks, Egypt, is a giant wall springs up because the local Ayatollah wishes that. What does he wish?
It's an emir, which apparently is a title that's not used in Egypt, so
Yeah.
that's wildly out of place.
Okay.
But he wants his land to be separated from foreigners. And
I can feel myself clenching up. Yeah. So this
And
wall
springs
flings up, and there's
that's the essence of it.
a symbolism in walls and them separating. But obviously, if you're making this now, you kind of got to, be careful about how you do it. There's other things that you've got to be doing.
Okay, can we just pause for a second? Okay, so Ayatollah, is a family name, I'm assuming. So that's untrue. And 2, he's an oil tycoon, a rival oil tycoon. 3, he wished that he get all of his the ancestral land from his family, right? And to keep and to kick the foreigners out. And thus that's why the walls showed up. To basically build up the perimeter of his family's land, and also made the news broadcast that, they discovered documents to saying that he's now the owner.
So Ayatollah is a religious leadership title.
Okay, that does not describe an oil tycoon.
Let me take a look at 1984 synopsis real quick. Email Wikipedia, but then again, best source that I have on a synopsis, honestly.
But this is what they think is like the most dark thing about the movie, not the fact that Wonder Woman rapes a guy. Technically, it's
it's because the
not the
woman
confusion.
is actually a female empowerment symbol, and that's why she cannot be wrong about.
Remember, these guys are degenerates. Okay, they have a crazy view of sex.
Oh,
No,
they
no,
just
no.
skip it. That's so weird. They actually skip it in the Wikipedia description.
Because it's so minor.
Yes.
All it
and
does,
these
it
people
explains
complain
how
about it.
Maxwell Lord's got men.
The funny thing is actually these people are really horny. They really want to show their horny off in the streams or podcasts. Let's put it that
Yeah.
way.
Guys, you need to keep that until the gay pride parade, okay?
Let's keep going.
I just imagine them just holding that well. These people creep me out so much.
Just wait. There are worse podcasts.
Doing this in the Middle East / Egypt. And there is a Slate article written by Roxana Haddadi on antiquated Muslim and Middle Eastern stereotypes.
shit.
And she goes into a righteous theory about how big.
Yeah, let's call it good there. I actually got to go. But yeah, fun times, wasn't it?
Oh,
It
great. We're
was.
looking forward to more fun times when we try to finish this.
Firearms, uranium, and nuclear bombs. Yep, that sums up
And
fun.
we're at-
right?
Okay, we're at 126.41, and they're about to talk about an article by this lady about how Middle Eastern stereotypes, I guess, and how that's
Yes.
apparently.
Oh
dark.
no, it's framing monsters.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
spreading monsters all over again. Lovely.
Yeah.
With an
Well,
article that they didn't read.
well, we will call this good for today. Thank you all for coming. This was very, very, very fun for me. Anyway, we will call it good, and I believe the perfect intro for this one is this.